Hey everybody, welcome to the Dad Challenge podcast. I'm pissed. The Solo Dad decided to contact my wife before contacting me and threaten her? Like, I'm the wrong dude, bro. Like, are you crazy? Let's talk about it. Okay, so this happens not very often, but it happens sometimes. Not necessarily threatening my wife or anything like that, but this does happen. People don't know who I am, and I will contact them or I'll do a video on them, and then they don't know who I am. They have no idea that I'm the guy that talks about child exploitation. They don't know that I'm a snarky guy. They just think that, the audacity. The Queen of Kings did this recently. She reached out to me and she's like trying to threaten me too. And I'm like, are you F off? Are you kidding me? You're an exploiter. Get wrecked. I'll show you that video that another day too. So anyway, Solo Dad decides to do this. He doesn't know who I am. He says he doesn't know who I am, and then he finally discovered who I am because I've done 2 videos on him so far, and then I've obviously exposed who his wife is because she doesn't allow their children to have privacy. Now, no matter what you think, it's not doxing when the information is publicly available, and it is on their Facebook group. Jessica found it on the Facebook group. It's a public page, everything else. And so what these people try to do is they claim things that aren't actually legal because they want people to be like scared. I can't tell how many times I got a cease and desist letter from somebody like Doxxing because they try to scare you. And when you first get one, especially in this industry, you do get scared. Legal proceedings can scare people, not only because I know that I'm right all the time. Generally, I know I'm right. Okay, I know that legally I'm right anyway. I can make content on these people's content. YouTube allows it. The law allows it because I'm just giving my opinion on their stuff, not making stuff up. I'm not like outing their address or anything. Now, I did that before and it was a mistake. I did that to Bits of Brie by accident, not by accident. I put it on there. I didn't realize it was doxing. It technically wasn't really legally doxing because I didn't put her address out there. I just showed a map of Hawaii, but still it was wrong and I apologize. I took that video down. But what they try to do again is they try to use legal jargon and all this kind of stuff to like scare you into silence. And a lot of creators have a lot of money to hire lawyers, and even if they know they're gonna lose, like I know Doxxing doesn't know she's gonna lose if she tries to sue me. Like, she's gonna lose hard and she's gonna have to pay my legal fees. Because what we do, creators like me, Sloan, other people who call out others, Jessica, all of them, we all do this, okay? When you become a public figure like Solo Dad with 300,000 here, 600,000 there, and he's got a huge audience. It doesn't actually matter how big your audience is, but when you become a public figure, you don't get privacy anymore. That includes me. And I've been doxxed, I've been threatened, I've had the cops come to my house, I've been swatted, I've had people come and like my kids have had to talk to like I've had all that stuff. That happened. It's just, it's part and parcel. I don't have my kids on the internet. I don't exploit my children, all that kind of stuff, but it happens. And it's kind of give and take. It sucks when it happens, but it happens. Now, some people deserve that to happen to them, like Nurse Hannah, who had CPS investigate, like Doxxing doesn't, like 8 Passengers, like all these people that have had this happen, like Fathering Autism. It's because they put this stuff on the internet and you see it. And so people get concerned and then they call CPS. That's deserved. But like people who do that to me are usually the creators who don't like when I talk about them, right? It's not like I'm out here abusing my children and throwing and showing it on the internet or anything like that. It's nothing like that. They just don't like that I'm calling them out. And some of them just have no idea of who I am and don't realize that I don't give a shit what you think. I think that you're a piece of garbage who exploits children and you deserve everything coming your way. That's what I think. They think I'm just gonna buckle, roll over. That's the cost of doing business. If you wanna sue me, so be it. Let's go to court. I will win every single time. Do you know how hard it is to prove all the shit? And a lot of them, they say harassment, they say all the shit, they try to egg you into this. But again, you are a public figure, and if I want to disseminate the stuff that you put on the internet or things that you send me, I'm allowed to do that. Okay, it's not like I'm going up to your house with a camera, turning it on and filming the front of your house. Even though that would probably be legal as long as I'm in a public area, I still would never do that. Okay, all I'm doing is disseminating the shit that you put on the internet. And you know what? That's what you want, because that's what you get. That's how you get views. Now, you don't get views from me or my audience, hopefully, but that's what you want. You want people to come and look at your content and have a say in it because that gets you engagement, right? You want them to comment on it, bad or good, or leave a thumbs down or whatever, because it gives you engagement. They don't like my kind of attention because it brings a lot of negative attention, and it really, really, really does. Okay, and that's exactly what I want. I want you to get negative attention because you deserve it. It's the only avenue we have here, really, is to snark on you and call you out. Because I'm not going to approach you in public. I'm not going to contact you in private unless it's something like this, which I will, right? I'll contact them in private because I think it's something it's the first step into all these processes, right? And it's because they're jerks. But I'll contact them, but I won't like physically go up to them. I won't look for them or anything like that. So when it comes to SoloDad, he didn't know. I honestly believe he didn't know who I was until he started watching my videos. And now he's pissed because I've outed his wife and he's really, really upset about it. His wife is probably super upset with it, right? Because she didn't want to be outed. But I'll go back to this. Like, if you don't want to give your kids privacy, then your wife doesn't get privacy. That's just fair in my opinion. Okay. And I'm not like outing their address, where they live, which like, I just, what they do because of the amount of money they make and him calling himself a broke dad. It's just the way it is. If you want to be a famous person on the internet, people are going to disseminate your life. And it has happened to me lots of times. It's just the way it goes. It sucks, but it's the way it goes, right? If you want to exploit children, you should expect everything that comes along with that. And that's all the negative tension that you deserve for doing that, including his wife, Elizabeth. Okay. And that all came to me within one day of doing the video. And I found Jessica's video and I found other people. And then people were sending me messages. One of the messages they were sending me was someone had sent me an arrest record for domestic violence for the same name as Christian here. And I messaged him and I just said, hey, look, is this you? I'm not going to show you the email because I don't want to give his email out or anything like that. I said, someone sent me this, and I put a screenshot of the arrest record, and it says, is this true, or is this just gossip, or is it not you? I always want to reach out to creators before I drop a video on this type of stuff, right? I do not want to be wrong about this, and I wouldn't post it if it's wrong, right? When I dropped the DV thing, at least I had a photo of the arrest record for K&T, right? I don't have a photo. I don't know if that's this guy. The person that has this arrest record with the same name was born in 1992. That's all we know. There's no arrest record, like with a picture of a face or anything like that. So I'm not going to put it out there if he says it's not true. Because if it's not true, man, that ruins me. And then before he gets back to me about anything, my wife comes downstairs when I'm doing another video and she says, look at this message. And here's the message. This I'll show you. Okay, generally won't show DMs, but this isn't a DM to me. This is a DM to my wife. This guy, instead of reaching out to me like a man, reaches out to my wife. The fucking audacity. First of all, you coward asshole. Don't ever do that. Reach out to me every time. You can call me whatever you want name. You can message me, tell me to F off. You can throw slanderous remarks all day long. I don't give a shit. Just don't talk to my wife. Okay, don't do it. Okay, don't. It's creepy, first of all. You're trying to find my wife, reach out to her. It's crazy. This is what he writes to my wife. Hi, Kathy. My name is Chris, and I'm a dad of 3 who makes content trying to encourage dads. Let me just correct that record for a second. I make content lying to people about being broke, and I exploit my children on the internet. There, you got it? To be more active in their kids' lives and be better partners by showing me solo parenting. Now, I would agree with this if it didn't come to the lies, right? The absolute, I'm broke, and here are all my kids. I would agree with that. There is nothing wrong with making content for dads that encourages dad to be better dads. I agree with that. It'd be awesome if you did that, but you don't. You lie. You lie. Your husband is harassing, bullying me, and doxing my personal information, putting my kids' safety at risk. Now, this is, I take personal offense to this. Your kids are at risk, or so you think, and I think they are too, actually. Let's be real. Your kids are at risk because you put them on the internet and you have amassed a following of somewhere close to 1 million followers on multiple platforms. And you think I'm putting your kids at risk by telling people who you really are? The audacity again. Like, I am clutching my pearls. Okay? How dare you? You are the one that puts your kids on the internet, not me. You can't guilt me or my wife or anybody else in thinking, oh, look what he's doing. You put them on there. I'm not saying their names. I'm not putting their stuff out there. I blur them if I can, unless it's really important to watch. Right? I'm not snarking on the kids. I'm snarking on your ass, dickhead. You're the one who put them on the internet. You put them in front of these eyeballs. You're the one when people now are starting to call you out. And it's not just me. It's a bunch of creators calling you out. You're the one lying on the internet about your situation. You're the one putting them in videos, not me. I'm not putting them at risk. You are. And if your kids weren't on the internet, they wouldn't be at risk. That's just simple math to me. That this guy's math ain't mathing properly. You cannot blame me for something that you've done. Okay? For me calling you out for doing that thing. It's not going to fly here. My haters do the same thing and it's so stupid. Oh, it's secondhand exploitation. Go f*** yourself. You're so stupid. So don't watch the news ever about anything going on in the world. Right? right? No, because that's secondhand exploitation. I hate this argument. It's so dumb and it never holds water. And they all use it because they think it's a gotcha. Anyway, so he says, put my kid's safety at risk, which is, no, I'm not. You are. Don't put that on me. I already contacted the FBI and will be contacting your local police department from Canada. The local Canadian police department, which, if you guys remember, Micah Stauffer did the same thing, and they actually called me and they're like, we're getting a call from some lady in Ohio about you doing videos on them. And I laughed. We all laughed together. Like, what I'm doing is not illegal. Do you think if I have over 2,000 videos, over 112 million views on YouTube, if you think if this was illegal, I'd be in prison already? Okay, it's not illegal to cover people who are on social media. That's all I do. It's not legal to snark on you either. Did your feelings get hurt? Did your fifis get hurt? Oh, yeah, call the police. You're gonna call the police because your feelings are hurt? Come on, dude. Anyway, he's contacting the police in Canada. And then here's where it gets a little bit, dude, are you kidding me right now? Does the board of nursing and your hospital know what your husband is doing? Why would where my wife works and her union and board care what I do? I don't disseminate her patients' stories. And I don't even know that my wife is such a diehard like rule follower that she wouldn't even tell me stories of work. Like, not with people or anything like that. I asked her once, I'm like, has anybody that we know come in? She's like, I'm not going to tell you that. My wife is so diehard, okay? She had $500 put in her bank account once when we were early in our marriage. And she called me. I'm like, $500. We got $500. And she's like, no, she called the bank and got it fixed. I'm telling you. So, like, my wife is a rule follower, 100%. Okay. And so I'm not out here disseminating all her stories of nursing or anything like that. I'm not, nothing to do with, my wife has nothing to do with this channel, nothing. And so you can't contact a board or a union, a nursing union, be like, her husband hates on me online. Okay, well, what the hell do you want us to do about it? Good luck with that, bro. But the threat is what matters here. He's trying to use, because he works in the medical field, and knows my wife does too. He's trying to use that to be like, look what she's doing. My wife doesn't have anything to do with this channel. Nothing to do with it. She's not on here. She doesn't tell stories. She doesn't show her face. She's got private social media everywhere. My wife has nothing to do with. What are you going to do? What do you expect them to do? Fire my wife because of what I do on YouTube? Are you out of your fucking mind? So again, he knows what he's saying is wrong and it's not true and nothing can happen, but he's trying to scare my wife. And that's why I'm mad. Like, are you kidding me? And so he says, does the board of nursing in your hospital know what your husband is doing is illegal? First of all, no, it's not illegal, you dumbass. Second of all, and in Canada, you can be arrested for 6 years if found guilty. Arrested for 6 years. That's a long arrest. 6 years of arrest. Please don't arrest me for 6 years. 6 years. Where are you coming up with that? If found guilty. What am I guilty of? Making fun of you? Are you kidding me right now? No, look, I know free speech isn't the greatest thing in Canada, but we still have a little bit of it. Okay, not like the US with your second or your First Amendment. It's not like that here, but we have free speech to a degree. Not in the UK though. Probably couldn't do this in the UK, honestly. I believe that. But you can be arrested for 6 years if found guilty of what? We find you guilty of making fun of child exploiters. See you in 6 years. What an idiot. I have screenshots, recordings, and pics, emails of every time he has contacted me, and I've had enough. Please tell him to leave me and my family alone. Now, look, Christian. Why don't you just contact me? Why did you contact my wife? I messaged you first before I even did a video about you. I completely did. Probably blocked me by now. No, he hasn't blocked me yet. Okay, interesting. So I reached out to SoloDad on Instagram, and I'm not going to show you the post, but I said, I got a lot of requests to cover your channel. Can you help me understand your content? ? Do you pretend for content to do parenting solo? Does your wife work? And are you a stay-at-home dad? Can you explain how it works? That's what I messaged him on January 1st, 2025. Okay, 12:36 p.m. today. I couldn't message him again because he doesn't accept my invite, but he takes screenshots of my stuff. And then I sent him the DV arrest record, and I said, is this true or is this just rumors? Right? Is this not a true arrest record? And then he obviously didn't get back, but he took screenshots. And then I said, I have someone showing me arrests for DV. Is that true? And I'm not up in here being like, you're a dickhead and all this stuff. I messaged him first because I wanted to, hey, can you tell me all about your content? I'd like to know more. I was offering an olive branch here. And instead of contacting me back, this dickhole threatens my wife and her job. Now, a lot of people are like, well, Josh, you called out his wife. Yeah, I did call out his wife because his kids don't get privacy, any of it. But she gets some privacy? So it's a little bit different. And I understand as a dad, he wants to stand up for his wife, and I get that. I understand the man part of that. Being like, I'm going to do whatever I can. Well, why don't you just contact me, man to man? Why would you contact my wife? I didn't reach out to your wife. I didn't message her. I just called her out on the internet because, again, your kids are being exploited on the internet and don't get their privacy, yet she does. I don't think that's very fair, okay? So then I email, we'll get to the emails. I emailed him again. I said, someone sent me this. Is this true or is this just gossip? I always want to reach out to creators before I drop a video on this type of stuff. I do not want to be wrong about this. That's the DV record, okay? Which, again, I just want to make sure. And I wouldn't release that if it's not true. And so I don't think it's true because he wrote this. And here's the funniest part about this message, okay? He writes this at 1:18. While he's writing this, I'm writing him. Because Kathy had come down and shown me the message that was sent at 1:12 p.m. Okay, see that here, 1:12 p.m. He messages my wife, and then at 1:18, he messages me. So here's how this goes. At 12:39, lunchtime, on this day that I'm filming this, I messaged him that email, 12:39. Okay, 1:12 p.m., which is like 23 minutes later, he messages my wife because he got that email, which is like super sus, right? So instead of messaging me back, he threatens my wife. Then at 1:18, he messages me back because of that message I sent him. He writes, Josh, no, it's not. So he's saying the domestic violence record is not him. So that is him, his statement saying it is not him with the DV record. Plus, I did some research and it's really, really, really hard to be a physician's assistant with a DV record. So it is likely not him. I messaged your wife, Kathy Barbour, on IG. So you make sure he drops my wife's last name. I don't care what you say about me, but you put my kids at risk by releasing my personal information, which is a lie. I kept my last name private for them, and now my family's receiving death threats. That's not because of me, and nobody who follows me would ever do that. So, and there's lots of people covering you, not just me. Lots of people on TikTok, there's other creators. So it is what it is. Also, you should take these pictures of your profile to protect your family's safety. This is him threatening me by showing pictures of my kids. I know you said you didn't want their pics on the internet, and I didn't say that, actually. I wish you and your fam the best, man. At the same time he wrote me that, I was writing him this. LL, contacting my wife? Effing coward. We had a hearty laugh, though. Thanks for the content. So you're admitting that this is true, the DV record. This is why I wrote that, because I didn't get his email yet, because I was sending it at the same time he was sending me his. All you have to do is deny it, and if I can't prove it, then I would never put that online. Did you think my wife wasn't going to show me that or something? Have fun contacting the nurses union. Let me know how that goes. You donut. And then he wrote, I need you to stop contacting me. This is unwarranted contact and considered harassment. Dude, you contacted me. So, okay, so wait a minute. I messaged you to clarify something, and then you message me back, and then I message you back, and you say, stop contacting me. Okay, I will. I didn't contact him back, and I won't, because I know what they're trying to do. They're trying to use it to be like, look, he's harassing me. Okay, so yeah, go back to him showing the pictures that I had of my wife and I on Instagram, and I have 2 pictures of my children on Instagram. And so when he's showing me pictures of my kids in this, what he had to do was scroll down like 4.5 years of my Instagram profile to find 2 pictures of my kids that I put on my platform, which I didn't find a big problem with, and I don't have a big problem with that. He's like, you said you should never show your kids. I didn't say that. I said you shouldn't exploit your kids for money, and I don't exploit my children for money. I've got 2 pictures on my Instagram, which are now deleted. True, just deleted them because I just don't want the hassle, right? But I don't say there's anything wrong with your kids in passing. I think I've said that and I've been clear about it, and clearly he doesn't know because he doesn't watch my content. I get that. But if your kids are in your content in passing, or you go to a thing and they're there, okay. I mean, still not the best, but okay. Right? But if it's about your kids and we know lots about your kids, especially medical issues and everything else, that is a lot different. And I think I've been clear on that since day one. So for him to show me the pictures of my kids that I posted, that's him threatening me. And the pictures of my wife, I put those on the internet because my wife says, yeah, I like those pictures, let's post them. So I'm not going to take those down because my wife's fine with that. But this guy's trying to keep his wife completely secret from the internet, but not his kids. Although the Facebook picture was public, so okay. What really pissed me off about this whole thing is that he threatened my wife, okay? And I'm not saying go report their medical profiles to their boards, anything like that, because they're not doing anything illegal. They're not doing anything that would warrant us contacting their medical boards. I wouldn't ever say that because that's crazy, right? And that's what he's threatening to do, though. right? Which wouldn't go anywhere anyway. It's bullshit. And it would be bullshit on our side. If we contacted their medical boards are gonna be like, okay, he's got a social media platform. Unless he's disseminating shit he shouldn't be online like Hannah was. Remember Hannah Hyatt? The nurse, she was disseminating shit. She should be fired for that. But he doesn't do that. He just talks about how he's a nurse or a physician's assistant here and there. He says he has a hard day sometimes. That's not going to warrant him being fired. And we don't want him to be fired. Christian, we don't want you to be fired. We want you to stop exploiting your children. That's it. Right? And so when he threatens that when after I didn't, and I would never, like that's a little bit chachi, right? That's a little bit gross for him to do that. But Chris, I know you're watching this. Okay? And hear me out, because I've made this promise to every creator, and maybe you don't know this. You probably don't know this. But if you take your children off and there's no semblance of them and there's no semblance of them on the internet anymore, I will remove my videos about you. This is a promise that I make to every creator, right? And to this day, I haven't had to because no creator has actually gone off the internet. They haven't. They've tried. Some people say they're going to stop showing the kids, but then they have all the old content still up there, right? You got what's her face over there, Abby Fickley, most recently saying she's going to stop showing her daughter, but then keeps this video of her daughter riding a broomstick in a really gross way, over 1 million views on it, and doesn't take it down. Look, you got to take down the old stuff too, and then stop exploiting them now, right? Micah Stoffer's one of my most famous cases. She got offline because she was hated off to the internet. But James still enjoys his channel making big bucks washing cars, and that all came from the exploitation of H. So I'm not going to do it. And I'll make this promise to you again, Christian. You take all that stuff down, and just maybe if you want to have your kids in passing once in a blue, fine. But if you actually make changes and do that stuff, I will high five you. I will take my content down about you. I make that promise to all of them. Okay? Just stop exploiting your kids. You didn't want the smoke. Why do you exploit your kids? And then have the audacity to threaten my wife? Like, how did you think that was gonna go, bro? How? Like, honestly, my wife is innocent in this. Your wife is not, right? I call out child exploiters, and my wife supports that message. Your wife allows your children to have zero privacy. Your wife wants privacy while at the same time exploiting your children, exposing them online. That's a big difference, I'd say. So maybe don't be a dickhole. And so you can see what he's trying to do with the last message. I need you to stop contacting me. This is unwarranted contact. It's not unwarranted. You messaged me too, so I was responding to you. Are you kidding me right now? Like the funniest part is like I messaged him, he messaged me back, then I messaged him at the same time. He's like, this is unwarranted. Don't call him. You what? No, we don't get to do that. That's like starting a conversation with somebody and being like, hey, how's it going? And they're like, good. And then you're like, oh, that's really good. Stop talking to me. Like, how weird are you? Like, what did you think was going to happen here, dude? Like, of course I'm going to make content out of this. Of course we're going to get people upset. But hear me out, guys. If any of you are watching any videos, just so we're safe, okay? Just so we're safe. Don't contact any of these people. Now, if I ask you to report videos because they're inappropriate, that's different. Okay, report the video. But just don't ever contact these people. There's no reason to. We're good enough with what we do here. If people are sending you death threats, Christian, you let me know who they are and I'll call them out. Okay? I get this a lot from people who get upset with me covering them. They're like, I get death threats. I get death threats too. We're on the internet, bro. Welcome to the internet. That's how it works. We all get it. All of the time. I have a hate thread. You don't even have a hate thread yet on Reddit. And hopefully you get one soon. Maybe I'll start one. But like, you don't want the things. It's all these creators, all they want is the glory and the money from it, but they never want the negativity from it. That's just not how this is going to work, bro. Sorry. Welcome to the internet. And you want to put your kids in that type of situation? That's on you, and it always has been. Hope your lesson has been learned. But let's see what happens after this. If he's going to call the police and the FBI. What the FBI going to do? I'm in Canada. What are you going to do about it? Again, what I do on these platforms is disseminate and comment on people's videos that they put out publicly. It is absolutely allowed. It is not illegal. I'm not making up salacious lies or saying that you cook meth in your mom's attic. Nothing like that. I'm just looking at your content and I'm saying, hey, look at how shitty this content is. Ha ha ha. It's not illegal, you dumbass. Stop trying to threaten and scare people. It's not going to work over here. Okay? Learn your lesson. And here's the craziest part about all this. All you really have to do is just stop exploiting children. Like, they'll do anything, including threaten my spouse, instead of just like, hey, reflecting on the fact that exploiting children is wrong. And we know it is. They'll do everything but the thing. And that should tell you everything you need to know about these types of people. Remember the last person who threatened me, which was Shannon Rose, threatened to burn my house down with my family inside of it and laughed about it with her mother on the phone. How well did that go? Shannon Rose is all but defunct right now. She's all but gone. She's a piece of shit, just like you are, Christian. How dare you? You crazy, bro. Welcome to the show. Everybody, take a deep breath. Whoo, this butthole. How dare you? Again, my wife doesn't like it. That's the thing. Like, just, she understands that what I do online, and she understands that this is part and parcel. So a lot of people message her, not a lot. She gets a few. She doesn't like it, right? And I can't blame her. But I was like, she understands that this is what comes with it. But she'll always show it to me. So if you're gonna try to reach out to my wife and think that she's not gonna show it to me, okay? Would you think she was gonna divorce me because I was making fun of you online? Don't be so dumb. Don't be so dumb. But don't threaten her either. Like, just don't do that. Okay, especially if you're empty threats. And even she was like, what are they gonna do about it? Like, she knows her rights, she knows everything. My wife's a nerd. So don't come for the nerds. They know what they're doing. All right? Guys, thanks for being here. Thanks for being upset with me. Tell me what you think below about SoloDad, okay? And again, do not contact people. Do not leave threats to these people. That is not how we roll around here, okay? I think you're amazing. I'll see you when I see you.